And for this one, I'm just picking at random. A story I have never heard of with an author I never read from before. What can go wrong? Absolutely nothing. Sorry to disappoint you, but you will see this is a common motif for the book. Greetings, Internet. Welcome to Bookworm Reviews. I'm your host, the Bookworm, and Dragon Month concludes with Dragon Keeper, Volume 1 of the Rainwild Chronicles by Robin Hobb.
He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Doesn't have a point of view. No.
The sun must have reached the unseen horizon. The stars were beginning to show in the narrow strip of sky over the river. She looked up at the band of night and thought it a good metaphor for her truncated and restricted existence. This muddy beach by the river, bounded by the immense forest behind her, was the only existence she had known since she hatched into this life. The dragons could not retreat into the forest. The picket trees fenced them onto the shore as effectively as their namesake. Although the immense trees have been well spaced out by nature, their supplementary roots and all manner of underbrush, vines, and plants grew in the swampy spaces between them. Not even the much smaller humans could travel easily on the rainforest floor. Paths pushed through the brush soon became swollen trails, and eventually swamping fingers of mud. No. The only way out of this forest for a dragon was up. She flapped her useless wings again, and then folded them onto her back. Then she lowered her head from her stargazing and looked around her. The others were huddled together beneath the trees. She despised them. They were stunted and misshapen things, sickly, quarrelsome, weak, and unworthy. Just as she was. Dragon Keeper is an interesting piece. When I found the book, I was interested by it because it's about dragons. I didn't hear anything about the series and had no clue who Robin Hobb was. I just wanted to read a new series that featured dragons. So, what's the story about? It has been years since dragons have been seen. When the people of Bingtown, Turhag, and Kazarik are offered protection by the dragon Tintaglia by the invading Chasid. They agree, and in exchange will help her bring sea serpents into the Rainwild River to their ancient hatching grounds to become new dragons. However, when the serpents hatch, they are malformed and disabled, but the people still keep them alive in agreement with their deal. But after years, Tintaglia has disappeared, and the people wish to get rid of them as the dragons wish to return to an ancient homeland called Kelsingara. The people give the dragons keepers to help care for them during the long journey ahead with their own unwanted, bringing it together a ragtag of outcasts on an odyssey to discover who they truly are. That's pretty much the whole book. I'm not joking. The whole book is about getting a ragtag group together and head off on the odyssey for this lost dragon city. The whole book is at its essence a long prologue for the journey ahead. In fact, the first 4 chapters are a prologue in itself before we flash forward 5 years for the rest of the story, and there is even a prologue in the beginning. A prologue within a prologue within a prologue. It's prologueception! And lame jokes are lame. For some, it will come off as boring or uninteresting, cause there really isn't that much action. Most of it is talking, trader deals, and the dragons are not used too much during the first half of the book. In fact, there isn't even a climax, and at the end it just kind of ends. No real wrap-up or anything with the characters or the plot, it just ends.
I just read a book for nothing!
So what do I think about the book? Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I know what I just said would make you think this is a lackluster book, but where it really thrives is in its characters. You will find someone within this book that you can relate to. Whether it's Centaura being disappointed for not becoming the dragon she dreamed of, Thymera, an outcast who should have died at birth due to her scaly condition, or at least unhappy with her marriage and how it pushed back her true dream of becoming a dragon scholar. That's just the main 3, but there are so many others with interesting backgrounds that everyone will find at least someone to relate to. Along with that, the story doesn't drag. Like I said, the book itself is just like one huge prologue, and with it you really get the time and dedication to learn and relate to these many characters living in this world. Actually, the world is pretty small, at least in what we see in the book. We only jump between the 3 towns and the rain wild that connects them all. If there is one thing I wish the book had, was a map. I really had no clue how the lay of the land was. A little map at the beginning would have made it a little easier for me. As for the dragons, I found it interesting that these dragons are really jerks. At several points, the book plays with us thinking that when these people meet the dragons, they will form a bond and become the bestest of friends. But no. Most of the dragons only see them as something to manipulate to help them get to the dragon city. Their methodology is also fascinating. How they are born sea serpents first, then go through a cocooning phase to become dragons. How when one dies, they eat them so they can absorb their memories, and their bodies are highly valuable because several believe they have magical healing abilities that will put them in danger later on. Same with the world building. While small, you can really feel the distinct areas of the land. From the aristocratic port city of Bingtown, to the tree cities of Turhag and Kazarik, and the rain wilds themselves, with a river that will be clear one day, then turn milky white and acidic. Really top-notch world building. The story is about how life can disappoint you. How we are told these amazing things about life and dream about attaining them. But the reality of life can leave us disappointed. However, it is also about when life gives you a bad hand, that doesn't mean you can still try to make something of yourself, even if the quest may possibly be pointless.
When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these?
Take the lemons.
We won't know till we read the next book. To wrap up, for the genre review, it gets a 7 out of 10. I found the change of pace refreshing with a world that is really fleshed out. But I do wish the ending was more than just ending. My personal is an 8 out of 10. I really fell in love with the characters, and I'm really curious to see where this adventure will lead to next. Overall, I give Dragon Keeper a 6 out of 10. Some will find the story boring since it doesn't have that much action, but it is a fascinating world with an interesting quest with a cast that you will relate to. While I can't bring myself to say go read it right away, if what I said interests you, then give it a shot. What's your opinion, Internet? Let me know. Well, that's it for Dragon Month. So what's it going to be for next week? Oh. Nothing beats a good mystery. Till next time. Have a nice day.